Hi, everybody. Welcome to This Week in Monday Mentoring. We have 3 sessions tomorrow. At noon Eastern Time is a roundtable. As of today, which is Saturday late afternoon, we don't have any cases submitted in advance. If any come in, I'll post them right beneath the RSVP button in the Monday Mentoring dashboard. And if we don't have any, we will have plenty of time for questions or spontaneous cases. So that's happening at noon. Then we have 2 practice management sessions, one at 5 p.m. Eastern and one at 7 p.m. Eastern. 5 p.m. Eastern, a few weeks ago, we had a Monday Mentoring practice management where we talked a little bit about just showing up when things are in turmoil and, how do we do our best work and serve our communities through whatever is happening out there. And one of the things that came up was how to think about lower priced group offerings as an option for the community that you serve. And, is that reasonable? What does that look like? What are some thoughts on that? So we're going to talk about that at 5 p.m. Eastern. If you have other questions not related to that, please bring them. We'll always give priority to questions that feel pressing and urgent to you. That's just sort of our topic in case we run out of things to talk about or nobody has any particular questions, okay? And then at 7 p.m., same thing. If you have a question or something you want to get answered, please bring it. Practice management is really focused on the ins and outs of running a clinical practice. So anything related to that, bring your questions. And if not, if we don't have any questions or if we have extra time or what have you, we'll talk a little bit about gathering feedback from clients, from students, things like that. What are some thoughts on how to do that? Putting some strategies in place to collect feedback and improve your services or programs or whatever it is that you offer. All right, so that's what's happening. We also have a observation group this week. If you haven't participated in one of those before, it's basically where we work as a group on a client. So I interview the client. In this case, that's happening on Tuesday at noon Eastern. I'll interview the client. Folks who are as part of the group will observe. And then a few days later, we meet and talk about the client. The client isn't there for that meeting, but we just work together to come up with a plan. And then I'll sort of write it up and present it to the client. So these are really fun. If you haven't attended one before, it's really enjoy practicing this way. There is a 50% discount for people who are Monday mentoring. So if you're available Tuesdays and Thursday this week at noon Eastern and you want to participate, love to have you. And if not, maybe you could join another one. I usually do one every other week or so. So that's what's happening. We have, as usual, co-working, and that is on Wednesdays at 2 Eastern. I did have a question for you all. One of the things, with things being how they are right now, a lot of people are starting to think about like, economically, times are a little bit uncertain and challenging. And one of the things that I think makes a lot of sense at this time is to really go take a close look at what you're spending money on in your business and sit down and just think about okay, even if you don't need to cut costs right now, if you did need to cut costs, what are you actually spending money on? What could go, what could you get rid of pretty easily? What could you get rid of if you really, really had to, et cetera? Just kind of getting a handle on what's out there. So I'm curious if anybody would be interested in doing a co-working session devoted to that. It's more like a guided co-working session. If you are, could you let me know? And, I'm going to do it for my business. I don't need to make cuts right this very second, but I do want to just have a look and kind of come up with a plan for in case I do need to make some adjustments in my spending. If you're interested, like I said, just comment on this video or email me, whatever is the most convenient way for you to get in touch. All right. And then lastly, for our behind the scenes, I heard about this new video recording platform called Tella.tv, Tella. So I'm using it to record this video because I like to just try out new software. There's a 7-day free trial. So that's our insider tip for today, or insider behind the curtains moment. I often will sign up for these free trials and just play around with things. And, it's another expense, and I'm not sure I'm up for another expense right this very second, but it's fun. It looks easy to use so far. And I do think it's worth playing with some of these things and just, I don't know. For me, it's like a enrichment exercise to just think about and consider new softwares, even if I don't actually wind up using them. All right. I hope you have a really wonderful week. Maybe I'll see you tomorrow at one of our sessions. And if there's anything I can help you with before then, just let me know.